What do we have here? RepublicWorld.com reports, the U.S.-led military coalition, which has been formed to fight the Daesh Takfiri terrorist group, ISIS, the Takfiri ISIS, has reportedly sent a new convoy of trucks to Syria's province of Hasaka. As per reports by RT Arabic television news network, a convoy of 5 trucks crossed the Walid border, entering Syria from Iraq's northern semi-autonomous Kurdistan region. Why do we have a Kurdistan? This comes after Israeli warplanes fired several missiles towards central Syria. The attack killed a family of 4, mother, father, and 2 children, and 4 other people were injured. So, immediately, as soon as Joe Biden gets in there, it's almost like 10 years of civil war didn't matter. Is this Joe Biden invading Syria? Is this Joe Biden invading Syria? I think he just got in there, he's the commander-in-chief. So there's no military operations around the world that's not coming out of his mouth.
Okay, so day 2 of Joe Biden healing the world and healing the nation and the world and healing. He says, when I'm speaking to foreign leaders, I'm telling them America is going to be back. We're going to be back in the game. And then I wait for a collective eye roll. Johnny Grass says, what the F does this even mean, that America is back? Well, Johnny, it means, come on, you know the thing.
Plain old Johnny Grass. I'll tell you what's up, Johnny. America is back, Johnny. So the U.S. Central Command and the U.S. State Department have conflicting goals when it comes to Syria. So do we listen to the Central Command? Do we listen to the U.S. State Department, or do we listen to the U.S. Central Command? Not only is Biden invading Syria, but he went ahead and recognized Juan Guaido as Venezuela. So Joe Biden's going to push for a coup d'etat. You know the D.C. Capitol riots? That's what he's pushing for in Venezuela. But not just one day, 2 days. He's going to push and push and push and push until eventually the government is toppled. Joe Biden is in favor of coup d'etats. He's in favor of coup d'etat in Venezuela, a sovereign nation who ran their own elections. He's been in there for 7 years, a dictator, and also the United States is helping Saudi Arabia to genocide the Yemeni people. 233,000 Yemeni people are being killed because of the United States government. So Syria, Yemen, Venezuela, oh man, Mr. Iraq War, Mr. Patriot Act, Mr. Far Right Winger is carrying on with the imperial domination of the world.
Listen to that. If you don't know what it means, Johnny, this is what it means. America's back, baby. U.S. military convoy enters northeast Syria, January 21st. Inauguration Day. They're back in. U.S. military convoy enters the northeast. Empire's got to operate through COVID, baby. We can't get a vaccine distributed, but we can still set the world on fire.
So what we got going on right now is we have 40 trucks and armored vehicles have been sent into Syria. They're telling us it's to fight ISIS. Yeah, everything's to fight ISIS and the terrorists. But in Yemen, we're actually on the side of Saudi Arabia, which means we're on the side of Al-Qaeda and ISIS. The Houthis are fighting against Al-Qaeda and ISIS. So the United States government, the empire, we sent 40 trucks and armored vehicles, 200 U.S. troops, and helicopters. So you got this helicopter, all these trucks, all these armored vehicles that's just going into Syria, whether anybody likes it or not. They came from the Al-Walid crossing, which I believe is on the Iraq side. This is right after Israel just killed a family of 4, right? Israel's just launching a bunch of missiles. They're saying they're going after Iranian targets and this and that. Killed a family of 4, including 2 children. How's that help? Make America safer. We killed 2 children. That's creating more terrorists. Those kids, they got aunts and uncles, and anybody that has a goddamn conscience says that that's shit bullshit. There's some conflicts I'm okay with. Fighting the Russians, fighting against the Russians in Ukraine, that's a good thing. I'll fight and die for Ukraine. The women, one of the greatest, most beautiful activists in the world. Yeah, Ukraine is not Russia. Russia is not Ukraine. Russia cannot go into Ukraine and take another nation's stuff. Just like Joe Biden cannot go into Syria, he cannot go into Yemen, and he cannot go into Venezuela. Those are sovereign nations. The crime of Hitler was that he invaded a sovereign nation. One sovereign nation cannot invade another sovereign nation. If you do, that means you're the one starting the fight. You're the one starting the fight. So we got this U.S. convoy, 40 trucks, 200, and they're telling us that it's ISIS, but we know what Donald Trump said. Donald Trump said that he was going to secure Syria's oil. That's exactly what he said. He's going to secure the oil. Just go in there and, So Joe Biden's going to send a bunch of United States soldiers into Syria to take the oil, to make sure that we occupy the oil fields. We got 600 to 900 U.S. troops in northeast Syria right now. And now we just sent 200 more troops. They arrived by helicopter. I bet that was a sight. I bet that was a scene. 40 armored vehicles and trucks and helicopters, 200 American troops coming into Syria. Day 2 of Joe Biden's presidency. He's the commander-in-chief. Everything comes out of the White House. Joe Biden ordered this. Joe Biden ordered the invasion of Syria, the reinvasion of Syria. Now, Donald Trump is no Jimmy Carter. Donald Trump is not opposed to an imperial presidency like Jimmy Carter is, or yours truly. But Donald tried to get out of Syria. He tried to get out of Syria, but the Democrats and the media and a lot of motherfuckers, including, I would say, maybe even TYT and a lot of the, grift and anti-forced vote fuckers. So Donald tried to get out of one war. We're in 27. He tried to get out of one. He even tweeted, "End these endless wars." So he's not a peacenik. He's not a dove. He's not Antifa hippie. He's not a hippie Antifa. He's not a good person, right? A hippie Antifa, that's a good person. And to piggyback off that, Turkey is going to go ahead and say that the Kurds, I guess Turkey hates the Kurds, so fuck you, Turkey. Didn't the young Turks kill all them Armenians? There's an Armenian genocide happening right now. In the Nagorno region. So anyways, this is just, Turkey was saying, hey, the president says Antifa is bad, and you know what? These damn Kurds are bad because they're anti-fascist. You know what you tell on yourself when you say you're against anti-fascist? Why are you against anti-fascist? Because you're a low-life fascist piece of shit? You don't have any goodwill towards anybody. Your political agenda is to rob and steal and take everything from everybody. You're a fascist bully. Obey you, or else violence is going to happen, huh? Fuck a fascist. A society doesn't need any fucking fascists whatsoever. If we all agree something needs to happen, we'll, nominate one person to be the fascist in charge. They get the job done, and then we take that fascist power away from them. So yeah, this rhetoric, this bullshit, the rest of the world, Donald, isn't just left or right. Donald is just flat out wrong. He's fucking wrong. And it was terrifying living in the era of Donald Trump in this nation. A bunch of criminals think that they could go around committing all the crimes in the world. In Castilla County, and the Castilla County Sheriff's Department defends them. MAGA supporters are supposed to, they don't love cops, they love the cops' fascism, they love their power. But they, since they're fascists themselves, they hate the cops. They're criminals. They hate that they gotta at least play nice around the cops and pretend decent when they know that they're fucking psychotic, low-life criminal fucks. They're immoral. They're hollow on the inside. They don't have anything for society. I want people to do well. I want people to, get themselves a good job and raise themselves a family in a nice home in a nice neighborhood in a peaceful, loving, justice-filled community. But that's not Castilla County. So the culture that Donald Trump had, he was an American fascist. He told everybody fascism is okay. There's good people on both sides. He wasn't beholden to Russia. He was beholden to the Confederates. He was beholden to the Nazis. He was beholden to the fascist, right-wing KKK, Saudi Arabian, right-wing psycho, low-life pieces of shit. He was beholden to dictators. So Donald Trump is a piece of shit, okay? Let's get that straight. But he did try to get out of Syria. And Joe Biden was all about Syria, just like he was all about killing people in Yemen under the Obama administration. We got one lowly base at Tanf in Syria, T-A-N-F. Now, Vice President Biden, now, Hillary Clinton was a notorious hawk on Syria. And while Don tried to get out, he also bombed people in Syria, and he kept the imperial presidency going. He didn't get out of one single war. 27 wars were going under Trump when he started, and 27 wars continued after he left. Now, this conflict in Syria has gone on since March 15th, 2011. This is one of America's most important wars. I don't know why America loves Syria so much, why they want to take a sovereign nation away from its, own president. 2011, 9 years. This is longer than the Civil War. This is longer than the American Revolution. This is longer than World War II. We're just going to spend, millions, billions, trillions just to fight for Syria? So the Syrian war has been going on for 9 years. It's the Arab Spring. The Ba'athist Assad, he's actually a secularist, is against the United States-backed SDF forces, the Syrian Defense Forces, which is a mixture of Kurds and Arabs. And we're in Rojava. The SDF, the U.S. is in Rojava. So what? What does any of this mean? We're in the Hasaka and the Deir Ezzor provinces. We're in the Hasaka and the Deir Ezzor provinces. We're bringing arms to fight the ISIS, but we're going to go ahead and make sure we take the oil fields so we can take their oil. Joe Biden's invading Syria, and he's using Donald Trump's plan. This Iran, a lot of the foreign people, they say it doesn't matter who the president is. The deep state wants war. The president can't do shit about it. So even if Biden wanted to get out of Syria, and if he wanted to get out of Yemen, and if he wanted to stay out of Venezuela, Joe Biden can't stop this. And that's a goddamn shame. That's a goddamn shame. We do need an anti-war movement in America. What happened to the we ended the Vietnam War. Was it just too long, too protracted, and now we're back in the same shit? So we're stealing Syria's oil. We're reinvading Syria right now. Joe Biden was not the change that we needed. He promised actually to change nothing, and so far he's got a couple good executive orders. But his position on Venezuela and Syria so far, and he talked about getting out of Yemen, but here we are, day, 3 or 4? He could just sign that, get out of Yemen. Stop supporting Saudi Arabia's murder of Yemen. Quit giving them money and weapons and fuel and guns and weapons and Abrams tanks and F-15s and cluster bombs. The Yemeni people are being killed by the protection that America gives and by American weapons. We have a veto in the United Nations, so Saudi Arabia wants to commit war crimes, we'll go ahead and veto the world, just like we do for Israel. Oh yeah, Palestine, the same shit's going on in Palestine. Israel's bombing Syria, what the fuck? war is never going to end, is it?